All right, Ultimate Noops Nation, I'm Aaron Wimstead. I'm here with Jason Briggs. This is This Week in Rec, Week 2 edition.
Hello, sir.
Hi. So let's get to it. This week's games, we had some good ones, some not so good.
Some blowouts. Yeah.
Bloomington South, them faced off against the Crusaders.
Yep. Down to Stensrud.
Them didn't have Stensrud. I think that's the first time I've ever seen him miss a game, other than for injury.
Well, right, other than Fridley games. So
that's true.
Yeah.
That game really close. Came down to a last-second shot. Yeah. Sonny took about a half quarter. Could have won it. No Devin, but the Crusaders look like a good team.
Yeah, kind of saw that coming, at least the close game with how well they played against the Red Devils. I know the Red Devils were Iron 5 week 1. But no, the Crusaders, they got a solid 8 right now. They're going to be a tough team. They're going to be in every game. I don't think anyone's going to blow them out. They're going to miss Shaban though. Shaban.
Yeah, if he came back, they'd be a real force to be reckoned with. Muskie Squires, again, close game, kind of came down to the end. From what I saw, turnovers, missed shots from the Squires. Muskies, less turnovers, made their shots, made their free throws when they need to.
Yeah, it looked like Muskies were missing at least one, if not 2 players too, because I know Bennett was gone, still hasn't shown up yet, and then Trevor Hazen's gone. So they're running a nice 6 right now. I don't know if they threw the press out very often, but I really like the addition of Ronnie Olson. He was. We kind of took 2 guys on at once when we got Adam Wetzel and Arsenio Richardson here because they're former high school teammates. We got them together, but Ronnie was one who we wanted to bring back. There just wasn't a spot for him. I love playing with the guy, so Muskie's got a good get there. And High Eye's another one I've always wanted to play with too. So that's just 2 good guys to replace Rablin and Brian Trone and Tom Jacobson. That's 2 very good players.
We had a new team. The Splash Brothers came in kind of last second last week. They played their first game. They played against the Titans, and they kind of got Splash Brothered on. The Titans, I think, hit like 16 threes, beat them by 30 at some odd points.
You got to shoot more than, I don't know, 40% from the field to be referred to as the Splash Brothers, I think. So that's the same thing with Pull That here. I guess Pull That can be, you pulled a shot, whatever. But Splash Brothers is kind of bold. So, but no, I mean, first game, it looked like they had 8 guys. Pat Evans is a good player, but field goal percentage definitely was not in their favor last night. So it should get better for them.
I think it will too. Your first championship actually came in Woodbury.
Yeah.
So you've played against most of those guys.
Yes. We won by default, I think, or I was on the roster thanks to a doubleheader. So
on to tonight. I think there's 2 good games to talk about. The rest were not much to talk about.
Club took down Pull That in the first game. Fob 5 took down the Barracudas. Players Club took down the Squids. I think those 3 really weren't well contested games. The 8 o'clock game featuring You Oughta Know and the Bees was a good game. Started late. There is some roster difficulties going on right now with Hazen and Iverson's team. It might just be Iverson's now that I think Hazen's he's sick in Australia, or I don't know what happened. But they added Steve Kelsey tonight and Eric Bond tonight. So later, very late in the evening. Marquardt and Jeff Smith did not show up on time, so they came in late. And I think the Bees were a little lazy to start the game. It's tough 5-on-4, but you have that mentality. You got to crush them, and they didn't really come out like that. And they played lazy in the first half. I think they were up 7 or 9 at halftime. And
came all the way back.
Yeah, right away they took the lead, and then I think as late as just 5 minutes left, it was 58-58, and You Oughta Know just ran out of gas.
Yeah, I think it was kind of funny because it seemed like the Killer Bees were making the stupid turnovers, and then last 2 minutes, UANO was up, I think, 4 points, and they started making the turnovers and stuff.
Jim and Alex,
Mayhem really took over.
Yeah, Jim and Alex they're really good players, but they got to slow down a little bit. They really force stuff. Jim was really taken to the hole. He was getting frustrated that he wasn't getting calls, but he was like a bull in a china shop down there. And Alex was taking a lot of shots early. They were down guys. Got blocked like 2 or 3 times right away by Andre Gray. But those two, if they could work in the offense a little bit more rather than play one on 5 sometimes, they could be a really good team because they're both good.
So let's talk about the Killer Bees real quick. So I guess last week, Mike Franklin showed up to play.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let him play with them because I guess, I don't know who played against who, but he played against the Killer Bees in the playoffs, rumor has it, and he didn't play with the Killer Bees, so they didn't let him back on the team.
Foolish.
So tonight he played with the Squids. Rumor has it, Tony DeBoer and Brandon Lorncott are working out a trade, so he might be going to the Players Club. Anyways, kind of talk about the Killer Bees are 2-0.
Yep.
So we haven't seen a difference yet, but last year I think was probably the best Killer Bees team I've seen. Minus Mike, what does that take away from their team?
He's a big loss for them, especially defensively. I mean, Calvin, Abdi, Jerry, they're smaller guards. Andre Gray is very good, very good. Keith's a good player, a little long in the tooth. I mean, I can say that because I'm a little long in the tooth. Doesn't play a lot of minutes. And then you got Matt Hamill, who's a force. They could use a rangy, long, hey, Mike, go guard the best player kind of defender. So to hold a grudge, they're just pissy because they think Twan didn't try in that game. Mike and Twan did the fair thing. They split up. So, yeah, Mike had a better game against the Bees. Wham, wham. All right? The rest of you could have played harder, too. I think it's foolish because they're missing out on a good player. And a good player is on the Squids. He might go to the Players Club. I wish he'd wait a week because we play them next week. But, yeah, he's such a good addition to that team that pride is a foolish reason for him not to be playing on the Bees. He's good.
He's very good. Athletic, plays good defense.
Yeah. And if I'm shooting a layup, I don't want him running behind me because I know he's going to pin it. So on to the main event tonight. We can skip this one.
Callahan versus the Avengers. We got to talk about it.
Okay.
You guys were without Derek and Kevin.
It doesn't matter who was there.
The score was 81-65. What are your thoughts on the game?
You don't get into a track meet with track stars. Okay? You don't BS I'll try to keep it PG. You don't BS a BSer. Okay, you try to avoid the strength of your opponent, and we played right into their hand every time. Quick shots. Yeah, Zhao should be taking quick shots, right? That's his game. But in an offense, you can get him quick shots. We were kind of forcing him to shoot right away. Here, one pass, shoot. Our whole team was like that tonight. It's a one pass shot. When we actually move the ball around, I got layups. James got layups. Chris got layups. Greg got open threes. If you pass 3 times on an aggressive team like that, you have an open shot. What did? We passed once. And the second the shot went up, Kavarian, Josh, everyone and their mother could run back because Chase or whoever was going to get the rebound. And then the other foolish thing we did was when they got the defensive rebound, our guards would come and try slapping the ball away. From these mitts, some little slap. Meanwhile, their guys are down there on the other end. Kavarian, if he gets one defensive rebound, it's got to be the longest rebound in history because he's already at half court by the time someone thinks about shooting. The thought of a shot goes up, he's already down there. So you don't do dumb things, and we continued to be dumb over and over and over again. We gambled on defense, possession after possession. I mean, we went for steals that weren't there. We went for blocks that weren't there. Our help was late. James seemed to be the only guy helping tonight at all. So it was really just a horrific performance. And once we saw them start to get a little momentum and build that lead up, we said we got to get this back on one possession. Let's shoot the 12-point shot and get back right now. Well, the 12-point shot is a long one, and that leads to a long rebound, and that leads to a layup. And it was just, even when we started to make a dent, Greg was hitting some crazy threes with a guy in his face. I'm just trying to give credit to his defenders. Defender was nowhere to be found. Greg was hit a couple threes. We pulled within 10, and then we pissed it away on the other end, and then we'd come and take a dumb shot. And it was my long diatribe's getting somewhere. You do not try to force your opponent to do what they're good at, and that's what we did tonight. So
yeah, Kavarian Williams with 32 points. They outshot you 54 to 34%.
And we were remarking, we were sitting with Cap having a little discussion here, and the discrepancy on the boards. Well, it was big. I think 10 boards. It's huge. But there weren't a lot of defensive rebounds for us to begin with. And they got some O boards, but when you're shooting layups, you should be making them. So it was frustrating.
Any final thoughts?
No. Looking forward to next week. I really want to take out my frustrations on the Players Club. So, DeBoer, get all your threes out of the way on another night. You hit like 11 against us last season. Just stop one time. Just for all twos. That's really all I got.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.